Guys, Rahman Naheem. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Class 9 metric. Today our topic is solubility. So let me define it first. What solubility is? Solubility is the amount of solute in grams dissolved in 100 gram of water. Like if we say some solute like sugar, let for example 25 grams they are soluble in 100 grams at room temperature and pressure. So it means it is the solubility of sodium chloride. Now if we are taking a little amount of these two things, they are important, like solute in grams and the grams of solvent or water, especially in water. So these two things, they are important. For example, we say that sodium nitrate, keep it in mind that all nitrates, they are soluble in water. Clear? And silver chloride is sparingly or slowly soluble in water. It means that the greater amount of greater number of grams of sodium nitrates, they can be easily dissolved in 100 gram of water as compared to the sodium chloride. I think I'm very much clear to you people. But sometimes we have to take a very accurate quantity to measure that whether what is the solubility, to find the solubility of a solute. So we are taking a little amount. Let's suppose 2 grams and 5 grams of product. 2 grams of solute and 5 grams of solvent. Okay. So how this can tell us the actual solubility? So it is the same like you are taking giving your exams in 75 parts or 65 parts. So you are taking a mass and that, and you can convert it into percentage, which means that these bars are considered to be, if they are considered to be in 100, what would be that numbers? So you are just dividing it, multiplying it with 100. Clear? So this could be the solubility of a word, easily calculated. So 40 grams yes, 40 grams of the particular solute, whether sodium chloride, sodium nitrate, sodium chloride, silver chloride, sodium chloride, or whatever the case may be, we have taken. So its solubility is 40 grams. Now why some solutes, they are more soluble than other? Like I have given here that sodium nitrates are more soluble than silver chloride. Clear? There is so many reasons and factors which are affecting the solubility. So among them is, one of them is the nature of solvent. Light dissolves light, and the nature of solute. Like for example, we say light dissolves light. Sodium chloride is ionic compound. It is ionic in the sense that there is an ionic bond between the sodium and chloride, and we have already discussed it and the bonding chapter, that when metal and non-metals, they are bonded to each other, so it will be what? It will be ionic compound. But is it dissolved in the polar solvent? How water is a polar solvent? It is because that the water there is hydrogen and oxygen. This is a covalent bond between them. Okay. So there is an electronegativity difference between these two. Then The electronegativity difference between the two is that oxygen is more electronegative, which means that it will attract this pair of shared pair of electron more towards itself, so it will become negatively charged, partial negative and partial positive charges will appear. So this has produced the pole, the negative and the positive partial charge on them, the poles on them. So because of this character, which is more nearer in definition to the ionic compound, so they will dissolve each other. Similarly, the nature of the solute, uh, like ionic solute and polar solvent, like we say that non-polar solvent solute cannot be dissolved in polar solvent, like benzene. Like benzene is insoluble in water because the water is a polar solvent, and benzene or petrol, they are non-polar solvent, they cannot be dissolved in them. Yeah. Now there are some other factors as well, like solubility and the ionic and polar substances are soluble in a polar solvent, ionic solid, and polar covalent compounds are soluble in water. For example, NaCl, sodium chloride and potassium chloride, and sodium carbonates, they are soluble in water. The reason is that light dissolve light. Clear? Similarly, the non-polar solvent, like the insoluble, they are insoluble in polar solvent. Non-polar solvent covalent molecules, they are insoluble in water, such as benzene, as I told you, and H2O. Clear? Now, the non-polar covalent substances are soluble in non-polar covalent. Like for example, grease, paints, and are soluble in petrol, ether, or carbon tetrachloride. Yeah. So carbon tetrachloride is also one of the non-polar solvent. Okay.